I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video, and it is, of course, time to review Summer Heat Machis. Now, I'm probably saying his name wrong, and I apologize for that straight away. I have absolutely no idea how to say his name, and I'm just going to call him Machis. Now, this guy, of course, is available for around 120k, which is really, really cheap when you consider how good the card looks on paper. Now, there are definitely some issues, and we'll talk about that, of course we will, but just initially with the pace, the agility, the 4-star, 4-star, and the few other, stats that he has in and around his dribbling and his shooting, for 120k, I wouldn't say you're going to be hard-pressed to find a better card, because you probably can. There are a lot of good cards out there in the 90s that are around 50, 60k, but they're a lot harder to link. Now, Machis links aren't great. Of course, he does play in La Liga, so that helps a lot, but Venezuela, unfortunately, doesn't give you an awful lot of option within FIFA. But then players like Giovinco, for example, who I think is actually under 100k, his team of the season card is unreal, like in terms of stats. I mean, just every stat is off the chart. Of course, that comes with its own set of problems with height and strength and all the rest of it, but his league is atrocious, so linking him in with other players of that league is difficult, but he does have that nationality advantage. So it's those type of cards, really, and that's why I think he is as cheap as he is. The other reason, of course, this is a showdown card. He is being pitted against a Real Madrid player. It is highly unlikely, although not impossible, that Machis will be upgraded. So when you complete this, or if you complete this, obviously you're going to do it from the point of view of, I'm likely to just stick with a 92. It's highly unlikely I'm going to get a 93, and even more unlikely that I'm going to get a 95. So when we review this, I'm going to do it with the assumption that we're not going to get another card. I mean, not to ruin the review, but I kind of hope we do, but he doesn't need it, in all honesty. So, 4-star, 4-star. High attacking work rate, 5'9", stocky body type, which, I mean, it could put a lot of people off, and it could have been a problem, but fortunately it isn't, and to be fair, it helps a little bit with a couple of stats. So 97 acceleration, 96 sprint speed's a fantastic start, 99, 99 for agility and balance. That sort of counters the stocky body type a lot, and that is really, really beneficial when you consider the fact that if he had 89, 89 with slightly less pace and acceleration, we'd be talking about a completely different experience here. So he has 95 dribbling as well as the 89 ball control, decent composure at 85, and his reactions, least said about them the better, only 79. 91 positioning, 99 shot power. His passing is solid. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just solid. Effective. Good enough for what position you're going to play him in. Now, if you do decide to play him as a cam, obviously you've got problems. I put him as a striker, literally 4-2-3-1 striker with a sniper, which gave him 94 ball control, 99 dribbling, 90 composure, 84 reactions, and 99 finishing. That's the team I had him in. Now, Kaká wasn't in there for the entire time. He played a couple of games. Ronaldinho played a couple of games. Del Piero played a game. I basically didn't have a centre mid that could link everyone together. Well, basically, I didn't have... I mean, I was kind of happy to keep one of them off Chem, but the team was struggling for Chem as it was, because I've got Mahrez at right back to give Phil Foden Chem. This team, or this account I should say, is bare right now. I need to do a lot of upgrades to get some good cards back in the club, but I've got like a main team on this account, and unfortunately Machis just did not fit into that main team without causing massive chemistry issues to himself, which obviously when you're reviewing a player, you don't want to have to deal with chemistry issues. Now, as you can see there, the very first clip is him weaving his way and sort of worming his way with dragbacks and what have you through about 3 or 4 defenders and then scoring near post. And that, to be honest, could have been the end of the review, because that's exactly what he does time and time again. His pace is unreal. If you've used the team of the season Depay, you will have flashbacks or potential PTSD when playing against this card, because he's very similar. They're both very strong. They both have a stocky body type. I think they've both got... One of them's got 5-star. Well, obviously, Machis doesn't. So Depay has 5-star something. He might even be 5-star, 5-star. But either way, they are very reminiscent of each other because they're very good when it comes to drag backs and ball rolls. Finishing is very very good on Depay. But Machis' finishing with a sniper is unreal. He doesn't score everything. And you'll see that in the review. I'm not going to... Look at this for a goal. How pathetic is that? That's an icon goalkeeper. That was Van der Sar in goal. And he makes another mistake here as well. Machis gets fouled. And we're going to get a free kick. I think he might score this, actually. Do we? No, we don't score it. We get it up and over the wall. I was actually quite surprised, considering he's only got 70 free kicks. There is an instance where... And it's not relevant. But look at this. What's that? What is Van der Sar doing there? We score from that as well. My opponent's got every right to be angry with his goalkeeper. 2 absolutely terrible errors and then a brilliant goal from Machis to finish the game off at 5-2. Massively impressed with this card, to be honest. I knew he'd be good because we did a video on... What rating was it? 84 rated player team of the week moments. You know, when EA gave up on team of the week and then they started doing their own thing. They gave him an 84 team of the week moments card. That was only 50k, but it was extinct. You couldn't get it because the price cap was 50k. I don't know what the price cap is now. Largely irrelevant because we have a better card, right? So that card was very good. It was meta for all intents and purposes and just a very nice experience if you could get your hands on it. This card is that card, but 10 times the quality, maybe even a little bit more. He's so good on the ball, it's a little bit frightening actually how good his dragbacks are, how quick he is as well, and I genuinely wasn't expecting it. Because of that stocky body type and maybe his reaction stat, I kind of thought that would let him down a little bit, and I thought, you know what, he's not going to be as quick as I want him to be, he's not going to be as mobile as I'd like him to be, and I think that's probably going to slow him down. Because if you consider the fact that, you know, when Machis' Team of the Week Moments card came out, Team of the Season wasn't around, so we didn't have, and so of course Summer Heat wasn't around, and all the rest of these crazy cards we've got now, they didn't exist. So it was very rare for me to play with a card that good. And now that we've had all of the Team of the Seasons, we've had our fair share of Summer Heat cards and extra flashback and player moments and all the rest of it. Coming into this now, I was a little bit afraid that he wasn't going to be as good as some of the players I've used. I mean, I've used some of the best players in the game. It's not a brag. That's just me saying, look, I'm using Mahrez, who is unreal in terms of skills, mobility, pace. I've obviously Frank Ribery's Summer Heat card is, in my opinion, the best card in the game. So when I mean, his finish in there is just unreal. In terms of traits, he doesn't have any that aren't CPU. I mean, technical dribbler and speed dribbler, but only CPU related. What that means, of course, is if you're playing against him in squad battles, for example, I think that's the only mode you can play against him in where the CPU is controlling the whole thing. He will have those traits, but if you're not playing squad battles, then it won't matter. His finesse shots were very good. His finishing surprised me, honestly. The quality of it really did surprise me. Didn't score everything. Wasn't like a... I'm trying to think of a player who just doesn't miss. Belotti's season objective card is one of those cards that I just could not miss the target with. That card is incredible. I've got rid of it since because it's not good enough in other areas, but his finishing is unreal. Frank Ribery, I suppose, to a certain extent. His Summer Heat card, every time I take a shot with him, I just know I'm going to score. This is the review in one clip here. You cannot get the ball off him. His drag backs send you for miles and then you just score near post. And that is Machis. Honestly, you could do that for days with him. He is such a good card and he literally doesn't need the upgrade. So I am more than happy for Real Madrid to win that game. Vinicius Jr. to pick up the upgrade to get to a 95, and I'm still going to use Machis and I'm going to put them in the same team together because he is unreal. And it's not that often that I would say it about a 92 rated card with 79 reactions. It just didn't come to play. I don't like, you know, we always talk about it in every review and people will speculate all they want, but realistically no one actually knows what the reaction stat means. EA, unless they come out and tell you and have it written down in game, and even then I would still question it. We don't know what the reaction stat does. Is it the reaction from when you press a button to when they're actually doing something? Is it nothing to do with that at all? And when you do a drag back, it depends on how close your opponent is, kind of like composure to a certain extent, as to how quick they react to getting the ball out of that situation. I don't know what it means, but in this instance, it just doesn't affect the card. His agility and his pace are so high and his, of course, ball control and dribbling are very good as well, especially with the chem style, that when you do drag backs, when you do ball rolls, when you do left stick dribble, I mean, look at it. You can go any which way you want, and you cannot catch him. He's so fast. I am a big fan of him, and I've got no personal ties to him at all, no emotional connection. I just think he's a really good player in game, and I am more than happy to keep the 92 and to play with him and just to get my fill. Big fan. And I would definitely recommend this for 100 to 120,000 coins. Absolutely. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. Have you completed him? Are you going to, based on this review, if you haven't already? And of course, if you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.